hold up. Stop what you're doing right now. Before y'all continue the context, you already know. Take some time right now. Subscribe to this channel. You get what I'm saying? And once you subscribe, click that notification bell so you can get that notification so you know when I'm here. Cause I'm here, you feel me? And for y'all who also want to help support your boy, you know what I mean, support the cause, all you got to do is click in the description box below. There's 2 links. One link for if you want to donate monthly, you want to set it and forget it, you know what I'm saying, for a minimum of at least $2 a month. You could do more if you would like. Or if y'all want to do a one-time donation, there's another link. That's a PayPal link below. You know what I'm saying? You click that and you can donate as much as you want. You already know every single dollar is important. Every single dollar is appreciated. I appreciate y'all. Now, go right back into that context. It's True Talks. Because True Talks. Stay tuned, boy. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks. And we back in the building, you feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks, all right? Let's get straight right into it. Bruh, so you already know, obviously I did in my last video, so if you haven't seen it, go on my channels and go click the video from last video and basically go watch that. And in that video, I basically talked about how Kawhi Leonard, Kevin Durant, they're basically the 2 best players in the NBA. And then it's everybody else probably at third going down will probably be like the LeBron, Giannis, you know what I'm saying? Those type of guys, Harden in that lower tier echelon. It's not that they're hella weak, because obviously when you hear tiers, people just automatically assume you're bashing them, whatever. No, it's just those 2 guys are at a tier higher than everybody else. The reason why? Because we're talking about the best players in the league right now. And a lot of people don't want to admit this, obviously, because, again, like I told you, this is not about LeBron himself. LeBron is one of the coolest guys, especially off the court, etc. You know, good family man, all that type of stuff. It's just his fans. It has nothing to do with LeBron. This is his fans, the media, all the people, you know, the LeBron sexuals, all that type of stuff. The people that love him, they go to bat for him. They go to ride for him. It's been like this for how many years? You know what I'm saying? When Kobe was there, when all these other players were there, it's been LeBron, which I have no problem with, but they don't know how to scale things accordingly. They don't hold LeBron's feet to the fire. They don't make him accountable for him messing up or him doing this or doing that. It's all excuse. Oh, he's playing with bums. It's all this. For anybody else, it's never who they're playing with. KD in Golden State, it's never who he's playing with. LeBron in the first Cleveland, it's who he's playing with. LeBron in Miami on the second, when he went to the finals and faced the Spurs and got blown out, whatever the case was, it's who he's playing with. You know what I'm saying? When he's in Cleveland, it's who he's playing. Wherever he goes, it's who he's playing with. It's never enough. But everybody else, I don't hear the who he's playing with argument. Even Paul George, Paul George is not a closer. They don't talk about who he's playing with in Indiana. Anybody else, they don't talk about who he's playing with. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that. Or when they succeed, like Kawhi with the Spurs or whatever, they don't talk about who he's playing with is mans are on the back end of their career, because at the back end of the career, LeBron left. That's crazy. LeBron left the Miami Heat because he said Bosh is on the back end. Wade is on the back end, but Kawhi won with people on the back end. We're not even going to get into that. Nowitzki won with people on the back end. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to... It's okay. That's just the different mindset and mentality. A lot of these guys don't give excuses. They don't care. When you're with me and you rock with me, we're going to get the job done. That's the mentality the superstar on that team has. You know what I'm saying? So we're not even getting into that. That's a different tangent, a different kind of different thing I'll go on, but I'm not doing that. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to do that. Because again, this is not about LeBron, the player, the person. This is about his fans. His fans they just be going in, they just be talking, they just be doing all what they be doing. And I have no problem with it, is if you just scale things accordingly by looking at the game and what happens and rating, because the game tells you everything. It's people's opinions and how they see it, you get what I'm saying, that now taints the game because they have hidden agendas. They want this, etc., etc. So like I said in my last video, KD and Kawhi and Kyrie have been in the crosshairs of LeBron James fans. You know what I'm saying? Ever since they done something or been in the threat to LeBron. That's how they work. That's how they've been going. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? We're not even going to talk about the media members. We're not going to talk about all of that, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's True Talks, because True Talks, you already know. We're going to keep it a buck. So anyways, when it comes to that, KD has been the best player in the league for a while, because let me use the argument that people have been saying for LeBron for a while. LeBron for a while, they've been saying he's the best overall player in NBA history. He can do everything. You know what I'm saying? He does everything elite or whatever the case is. When my assessment of LeBron is, he based the Cleveland LeBron, Arsenal-wise, has been the best LeBron till this date. If you go back, I'm going to do more context of young LeBron, etc. But young LeBron is at the pinnacle of my elite status. The other LeBrons, you know what I'm saying, is more so he started getting into his head, and it's more so, especially because he had the pressure of winning a ring. So he kind of like, you got to understand, LeBron's the type of guy, he's a smart player. So, and him being smart sometimes is a detriment for him in the clutch moments or in this, because he's going to make the right play to pass. When the right play is, you shoot that shot. You're not double teamed. People don't really recklessly double team LeBron like they recklessly double team, let's say, a KD, or they recklessly double team a Kawhi, or they recklessly double team a Kobe, a MJ. They don't do that because they know he could pass. So that threat of passing literally means you should actually be shooting. Out of all those guys, you should be shooting the shot 9 times out of 10, because those guys, they know they might not even pass. The chance of them passing is more lower. So we could actually get away with double teaming them, because they still might shoot that. I mean, you want a double team shot more than a one-on-one shot. But they know if we double team LeBron, he's going to dime that nigga in the corner. He's going to pass to that guy. His basketball IQ is high. Not just his basketball IQ. He trusts the right play more than he trusts himself. You know what I'm saying? That's LeBron. So with someone with that kind of IQ, most of the times you're going to get a one-on-one situation where mans aren't helping, because they know if I help, he's passing. You understand the deep context. So people don't understand that out of all those players, LeBron is the guy who one-on-one in the clutch should be shooting it every single time. Not going to double you recklessly. But the problem is, this is why I try to tell people, young LeBron had an arsenal. Young LeBron just played the game. He didn't have to think. Especially, that's the thing. When young LeBron didn't have the pressure, wasn't like, oh, he has to win a ring right now. He was overachieving, because again, most guys closer to their primes, now they're on the stage where, you know what I'm saying, they have the better players, or they're in the limelight where it's like, okay, now he's supposed to win a ring. Where are you at? But young LeBron was overachieving. He was snapping right out the gate, averaging 18 points per game, and then going higher. Taking the Cleveland team, obviously, that is not a high tier team, but they didn't have scrubs. Don't get it twisted, because back then you didn't have a big three yet. It wasn't big threes. It was a lot of good role players, above average role players. You know what I mean? They had the Larry Hughes, they had the Sasha Pavlovich, who was solid role players. You know what I'm saying? They had Ilgauskas, who was going getting buckets. All those type of people. Traded, got Mo Williams, all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Anthony Parker, all these guys. But at the end of the day, he wasn't playing with bums, because you understand the rest of the league, until Boston trade, didn't really have a big three. You know what I'm saying? So in that situation, yes, he's still carrying them. He's going to work and he's overachieving. He's killing Detroit. He's doing all these things. And the way he's killing people, he doesn't have to think that much. He's just playing the game. He's doing Arsenal, behind the back pull-ups, shimmies. I seen him do elite takes, elite Arsenal takes. But once he went to Miami, where now it's like, wow, you're supposed to win. The pressure is there. Where are you at? That's when you can see the transition. Other than that game 6, obviously, versus the Celtics. Other than that, that's when LeBron kind of like, his game started to change more. He started to just only running in the paint mainly. You know what I'm saying? He started to change more. He didn't had Arsenal still here and there, obviously, when he's feeling it. When he's hot, LeBron will always bring up the Arsenal. But the chances of him being hot, like you could sag off him, you could do all these things. And that's the everyday context. No one's saying he can't do the Arsenal. But the everyday context, the everyday bucket, every single time you have the ball, what most likely are you going to do? Those guys, KD, all these other guys, Kawhi, most of the times, every time they take a shot, it's an Arsenal take. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a pull-up, an in and out, whatever it is. LeBron is not really doing that. You know what I'm saying? He drives to the rim. That's why his percentage is high. You know what I'm saying? And then when he's feeling it, he'll start doing the shimmies. But before he's feeling it, he has to hit an open. Like people sag off him. He'll hit an open, just walk up to the 3-point line, shoot it. Okay. Come set the screen. They go under the screen. Okay, let me shoot it. Then after he starts hitting a 1-2, then he gets comfortable and he starts doing the moves and starts doing that. You know what I'm saying? Especially since Miami going forward. That's what the LeBron became. You know what I'm saying? But if you go look at young LeBron, the first Cleveland LeBron, man was pulling up from Egypt, went on that run versus Milwaukee, remember in the regular season, the man was eating. Arsenal eating. Dribble pull-ups, all that type of stuff. But again, that's why I try to tell people, basketball is literally 80 to 90% mental. Because even if you have the skill set, Your mind and your mentality has to make you do that skill set. LeBron has the skill set to do it, but his mind, he has a weaker mentality when it comes to these other superstars. Obviously not to the rest of the league. We're talking about in comparison of the KDs, the Kobes, the MJs, those guys, the greats. He has the weaker mentality out of all of those guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he doesn't move the same all the time. He plays tricks on himself. He's overthinking, especially that what happens when you're being smart. But then also, if you're not as clutch handling the pressure, etc., he overthinks a lot of things. That's why you don't get the same Bron every single time. When Kawhi's missing, it's the same man. When Kobe's missing, it's the same man. When KD's missing, it's the same man. We still take the same shots. I'm just missing. My fault. I'm going to turn it around. LeBron be playing different types of LeBrons. People are going to understand that. So it's not a knock against him. It's just a reality check for all of these type of fans. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. You got to understand that. So when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying? Now I even just went on a tangent with LeBron, what I wasn't supposed to do. But it's just, people need to wake up and smell the coffee, you know what I'm saying? And when it comes to him, you got to understand that it's a different type. His mentality is just, it's not on those high caliber levels mental game wise, which is why he has more finals losses, because other people have played great teams, which is why then his fans know this. That's why they always go, they blame player. Who is his team with? Who's his teammates? Everywhere he goes. Look who he's with. Everywhere he goes, even though that same team where he has a great record, that same team where he has gets the job done, has players that were eating on their own before him, etc. So it's not the team, it's actually the team follows how the leader goes. You know what I'm saying? You can kind of see that. And anyways, that's a different argument. But when it comes to that, you know what I'm saying? What I'm saying is that LeBron, at the end of the day, his mental game is more weaker. So because his mental game is weaker, he kind of changes depending on the pressure, depending on the type of game, depending on where he's going. He kind of changes that's why you see versus the Clippers, he's not being aggressive, Bron. He's looking unathletic, etc. But you've seen how he woke up. He started waking up and being more aggressive once Avery Bradley started snapping. If he doesn't have someone who's kind of snapping with him or just going to work, it's rare for him to just carry straight through. You know what I'm saying? It's not all the time. I'm not talking about young LeBron. Young LeBron carried regardless. I'm talking about before and after that. You know what I'm saying? He's always looking at the Wade. If Wade isn't snapping, if Bosh isn't snapping, if these guys aren't, Kyrie, whoever, if they're not going to work, it's rare for him to just, I'm going to go. Even though the other team's going to work, I'm going to push against the pressure. That's why he got blown out versus Spurs. It was mainly him. And I try to tell people these things all the time. If you look at LeBron's wins, stat sheet wise, just don't even look at the game of the contest, because y'all just talk about analytics and stats. When you look at Kobe, when you look at MJ, when you look at those guys and they win a ring, every time they've won a ring, you know what I'm saying? Especially, well, Kobe obviously after the Shaq, but when he won a ring in the finals, if you look at the stats in the finals, his points per game is at least 9 or 10 points per game higher than the second guy, which shows you that they were the focal point they were carrying. They've won as being the, let's say, averaging 30 or whatever, and the next guy's averaging 18 or averaging 20, or, averaging a 10 to 9, 8 points per game window jump than the second guy. They win the ring in that. If you look at the stats, that's when they win the rings. You know what I'm saying? Because clearly you can see it's mainly them, kind of a second person, and then everybody else. LeBron, when he's in that situations, if you go look, that's all his losses. All his 6 losses, you know what I'm saying? All his 6 losses is you can see LeBron's kind of averaging this amount of points, and then the second person is it's a big margin of points per game. You get what I'm saying? And that's how it's looking like. That's if you look at all his losses. That's the irony of, that's how you can see those guys are in a different caliber than him. On his 3 wins, if you go look at his 3 wins, he's averaging, let's say, 28. Wade is at 24. You know what I'm saying? Or it's not that big of a jump. Kyrie, when they came back down 3-1, he was averaging 29. Kyrie's at 27. You know what I'm saying? He always needs others. So what does that tell you? That's what I'm these people don't want to look at these type of details. When his stuff and his stats are looking like MJ and Kobe, he loses. But when his stats is looking like when he needs all the help, that's when he's winning. And y'all got to understand something. That's why I'm trying to tell you something. That's already tells you a lot. That tells you a lot. And that's why LeBron, to me, when it comes to Arsenal and all that type of stuff, and comes to the game and just the parity offensively, he has been overshadowed by KD, by Kawhi for a while. Maybe not Kawhi, but KD for a while. You know what I'm saying? And when what I was saying originally before I even went on this long tangent, because I know some of y'all love the tangents, you get what I'm saying? But the main thing is that what I was trying to basically say is that LeBron James, from time when Kobe was in the league and other guys were in the league that were at a threat position of him, you know what I'm saying? It was known as LeBron's the best player because he plays better defense. He does everything. He's more so all of an overall better player. You know what I'm saying? So if that was the argument to push LeBron over the top, which I don't believe, because LeBron hasn't even had a first team you know what I'm saying? Defensive team and all that type of stuff. He hasn't had that. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been in that caliber multiple times. I think he has one or whatever, but he hasn't been there multiple times like Kobe, like MJ. But that's even a different discussion. You know what I'm saying? Because LeBron's one-on-one defense isn't actually elite. His one-on-one defense is elite with people who have weaknesses or who are compromised offensively. Like he can go guard D-Rose when D-Rose didn't have a jump shot and just sag off him at free throw line and guard him. That's like Kobe guarding Rondo. Obviously, he's gonna lock that up. But when have you seen LeBron on KD and he locks it up? I'll wait. When have you seen LeBron on a superior offensively gifted guy or on Kobe and lock that up? I'll wait. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't happen. But we've seen KD on an elite defensive player lock that up. We've seen Kawhi on an elite defensive player strap that up. We've seen Kobe on an elite offensive player lock that up. LeBron's defense is known is you think about the chase downs, just like Dwight Howard, chase downs. Just because you have good team defense doesn't mean you have great one-on-one defense. It's two different things. Two different things. LeBron be getting help. That's why LeBron, there's a different deep context. LeBron loves when he's playing against the Warriors or whatever and he's guarding Draymond. Before KD was there, he had to guard Draymond. So he's just roaming. I'm not really guarding Draymond. You know what I'm saying? He's not really guarding those guys. He always, in all these finals and all these matchups he's always been guarding a guy that's not super gifted offensively where he could just play roam defense. Shoot the passing lanes, steal, punch. He has all that energy to do that type of stuff. And then, or he's facing Chicago. Now I'm going to guard Rose because I'm guarding who? I'm guarding Luol Deng. You know what I'm saying? Luol Deng is nice, but he's not getting buckets like that. So I can guard Rose and he is compromised because he's sagging off. Just guarding from free throw line down. You know what I'm saying? Every time he has to guard KD, switch. Bad Eagles guards him now. Has to guard KD, switch. Jefferson, older Jefferson, has to go guard him. Like, yo, I'm showing, but that's a different context anyways. We're not even going to get into all of that. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, if that's been the argument from time that he's the best overall player, you know what I'm saying? If that's been the argument, then why now when he's older, y'all still saying he's the best player in the NBA when y'all say, oh, he can't play elite defense because it's to pick his spots. He's older now. So how is he still the best player in the NBA? If the reason why he's been the best player in the NBA is because he's a two-way type of player, y'all been saying he plays elite defense. Y'all been saying, you know what I'm saying? Blocks, steals, whatever the case is. And then on offense, he's playing elite offense. Okay. So now if his defense is gone and he's not playing elite defense like that anymore, yes, obviously he's been better this year. But y'all still been saying he's the best player in the NBA for how many years, even when he stopped playing defense like that. And regardless, even now, he still picks his spots. Obviously, he's been playing way better defense than the first year with the Lakers. But it's still, if you look at it and average out to other players, he still picks his spots. You know what I'm saying? When you have a guy like KD, who's been playing defense, elite rim protection, been playing less like the 4 or 5s and with Golden State, elite rim protection, elite one-on-one defense, makes man's pass. Said, no, I'm guarding Harden. Makes him pass. What are y'all talking about? Kawhi, we already know what he does defensively. We already know. They don't even need to talk about that. Giannis did what? He's guarded elite players as well too. He locked them up. Like, I don't want to hear that. He's been locked. He locked up Curry when he went on before he injured his ankle in 2017. Been padded. You know what I'm saying? So if you have guys who are elite offensively and now they're elite defensively, how is that guy still the best player in the NBA? We already know why. So I'm not even going to go into that. So now I'm going to show you that that's my reasoning why KD has been the best player for a while, especially offensively. He's shooting LeBron efficiency field goal percentages on jump shots majority. If you actually go look, other than fast break or a 1-2, let's say blow by layup, mainly of his buckets is jump shots. That's one guy that mainly of his buckets is jump shots. And he's shooting the same efficiency as LeBron. Oh my God. That's how you know this guy's different. That's how you know this guy. And you know LeBron's mainly paint. This guy is different. Different. So again, that's one proof. Now when we look at it from this perspective, we already know Kawhi what he did with the Raptors. You know what I'm saying? And that's been the knock again. So now we leave LeBron. LeBron is like third going down, whatever, however you want to rate him. But these two guys, I said, KD's 1A and Kawhi's 1B. Now I understand some people thinking Kawhi is better because of the whole led the team conversation. Now I'm going to go into the context of what leading the team means and different contexts of the teams around you. You know what I'm saying? Situation and actually breaking down what's going on with actually, you know, when it comes to who's on your team, the types of players that are on your team, all of that matters, which is which is a big part of why KD was leaving OKC regardless. Even if he didn't go to Golden State, he was leaving regardless. You know what I'm saying? So now if we look at it from this perspective, okay, the only time KD hasn't had a Westbrook, you know what I'm saying, is when he had Westbrook injured in 2014 and he won the MVP. Okay. Yeah, I think he had the best or second best record in the West, and he was elite. Obviously, he got knocked out. I think was it first round or second round, whatever the case was. But this is the reason why he got knocked out is why they just triple and double teamed him. Why? Because he has no shooters. He has no shooters. So KD has never been in a situation where he's the main guy on offense and he has at least shooters. Even if y'all are role players, at least y'all are shooters. This is why you've never seen LeBron just get recklessly double teamed, because he has shooters. Even only time he didn't is the first Cleveland LeBron before he went to Miami. But ever since he went to Miami, regardless, however you roast his teammates, he's always had all-stars and shooters. Always. Even the last year in Cleveland, he still had shooters. You know what I'm saying? KD has never been in that situation. So imagine those guys are with a team with no shooters and are just getting double teamed. How far are they going to go? Even Kawhi. Kawhi's playing with role players in San Antonio with an elite system and an elite coach. But regardless, as much as you say they're not individually talented with the Spurs, he has shooters. They've always been best percentage shooting wise from three in the league. He's always had shooters. Patty Mills can shoot. Bellinelli can shoot. Even Rudy Gay has stretched out. He could shoot. LaMarcus Aldridge now started even shooting. Even if I doesn't shoot the three, he shoots high, far, mid-range. A lot of these guys, Bertans, can shoot. Like, come on now. He has shooters, so you can't just recklessly double team Kawhi. You know what I'm saying? So even though he's the one guy, he has shooters. That's why even Dirk Nowitzki in Miami, even if he's the one guy, he still has shooters. Kawhi, KD has Andre Roberson, Cephalosha, guys whose weaknesses are they can't shoot. Sag off OD. Westbrook, not really a shooter. Even when he had Dion Waiters, he can shoot, but he's not just a catch and shoot shooter. He's a rhythm shooter. Even the guys who can shoot, like if you go look at their stats, those guys have been averaging 30-something% from the three. None of them has been shooting 40 above from three. Except maybe KD. That's why you hear him say that he's said on All the Smoke and whatever. It's the play style wise. Like he's the only guy who's sniper like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all the players that you're saying lead their team and all this, etc. Regardless, however you slice it, they've always had people who could shoot. Even Kawhi and the Raptors, Van Vliet could shoot, Lowry can shoot, Ibaka can shoot. All these guys could shoot. When Kawhi had Ibaka, he wasn't shooting threes like that. It's high mid range. Only them two are the main guys who can really shoot. You know what I'm saying? Kawhi has always had shooters. So that's why I try to tell people, it's like, if you have players that could shoot around you, the type of caliber player that they have to be doesn't really matter. All they need to do is shoot. They don't have to be an all-star to be able to shoot. If you're a shooter, I can rock with you because it helps my play style. Mans can't double team as much. Because regardless, even if you have a star, especially LeBron, regardless even if he has a star, he's not giving him the ball like that to just cook. So as at worst, you better be able to shoot. Hence Chris Bosh, hence Love. He's always had shooters. At least 3 other shooters on the floor. So y'all can't, that's what I'm saying. It's like this narrative against KD not being able to lead is not a great narrative, because the only time he didn't have Westbrook where he actually had the ball in his hand, like Kawhi would have the ball in his hand, like LeBron would have the ball in his hand, he won MVP. doing that. So to say that he won't be successful is terrible. But within that MVP, he didn't have shooters. Give him shooters and give him the ball and we'll see how far he goes. I promise you, it's a finals thing. Y'all can't be serious, man. So that narrative, again, is a wrong narrative. You have to look into the deep context of the game. There's nothing about giving excuses, about actually looking at the game with the IQ eye and seeing, okay, this is why this is this. This is why this is this. This is why this is this. Now, if you have it laid out for you and you still don't do the caring or do whatever, now it's like, okay, that's a negative against you. I promise you, you give KD that last year Cleveland team, he's beating Golden State. You give Kobe that last year Cleveland team, he's beating Golden State. You give Kawhi that last year Cleveland team, he's beating Golden State, even with a different type of KD on there. There's no way the man has 51 points and is passing the ball in the last possession. You get what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to show y'all. Like, bruh, the worst part about the Golden State team, if there's no KD, none of them were doing one-on-one. That's why they've only became a different echelon when KD got there. None of them were doing one-on-one. Curry was getting patted one-on-one. Clay would do it here and there, but that's not his game within that play style. Now, if he goes to a different team and he polished his one-on-one, he'll be doing that. It's not like he doesn't have the ability, but it's just that's not the mentality he's kind of been living in. So now when you just throw him in the mix, do one-on-one, if it's a serious game, he'll find a way, yes. But 9 times out of 10, it's like Clay's not just going to cook one-on-one. Especially as the third wheel. He's thinking that's y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, like, listen, obviously I know this is a long video, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's my reasons why I have Kawhi and KD and Kawhi. KD 1A, Kawhi 1B. It's not like they're hella far apart. Like I said, KD's defensive ability is high, as well as Kawhi's. Kawhi's is probably like this much better than him because of, you know what I'm saying, just the hands, and he's been doing it for a longer period of time. He's been known as that, you know what I'm saying? But don't get it twisted, KD has elite defense as well. But I'll say Kawhi's a bit better defensively than KD. But offensively, it's not a hella far margin, but it's a bigger margin that KD is better offensively. The gap between them offensively is bigger than the gap between them defensively in Kawhi's advantage. That's why I have KD as 1A and Kawhi as 1B. Now, when it comes to leading, you know what I'm saying? We'll see when he comes back with the Nets, you know what I'm saying, KD. And obviously, we'll see how he's moving with the injury and all that type of stuff. But majority of the times, like I said, KD hasn't been in a situation where he's been able just to lead. He's been the best player on an elite team, and he's been leading Golden State. Obviously, it's different when you have snipers and whatever. But even if he doesn't have a Curry and he doesn't have a Clay, they're not doubling you if you have, let's say, Korver on your team. They're not just leaving Korver open all the time. You know what I'm saying? He's never had shooters. The man has never had shooters. Like, the only time he's had shooters is Golden State. And that's part of his decision. That's part of it. He's had Westbrook who's controlling the ball. And you know, Westbrook's, he's the alpha dog. So he's not just going to give KD the ball whenever KD calls for it. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a battle within that. And then even if KD has it, they'll just sag off Westbrook. They'll sag off this guy. People are sagging off Westbrook right now with Harden. You know what I'm saying? Which is why Harden has to play more off ball with Houston, because it's like, let Westbrook just run around free and we play off ball. Because when Harden was trying to do his shit, you just sag off Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? So, like, imagine. Y'all just got to understand the deep context. You already know. Anyways, it's IQ, because that's what I do. You already know. Share, like, and subscribe. I apologize for going into a tangent, but you already know y'all need some content. Is needed, especially during this quarantine time. I'm trying to stay safe. I'm staying safe. Hope y'all are staying safe. You know what I'm saying? God bless, you know, pray for your loved ones, all that type of stuff. You know, y'all and your families. Remember, stay safe, man. Like, we'll be still in this lockdown. I know it's rough, but we got to do it. You already know. Like I said, share, like, and subscribe. It's True Talks, because True Talks, we out here. There's no doubt here and there's no drought here. You feel me? And I'm out, man.